Hello and welcome back to my channel, a slightly later edition of Learn Tarot with me. And today we're looking at the Judgment card, okay? So the Judgment card is the number 20 in the Major Arcana. Last week we looked at the Sun, which was the number 19, okay? And so here with the number 20, we can literally see kind of like naked people coming out of a coffin, right? And this is Archangel Gabriel, and we know it's Archangel Gabriel because there is the trumpet, right? He is the messenger angel. And then we have what looks like an English flag, but I'm sure it probably means something else entirely, but I'm not entirely sure, so we're not going to go into that. The main thing, and the main thing that's important for me in the Judgment card, is the fact that these people are being risen from the dead, okay? They're coming out of their coffins. And this is quite religious symbology, okay? Judgment refers to a judgment day, the day in which people who have died are awoken or risen from their coffins in order to face final judgment. I would assume that these people are facing final judgment for the good, right? Where they are being risen to heaven or risen to heaven on earth, okay? So deeply religious symbology. As I mentioned before, that's Archangel Gabriel there, I believe, like awakening these people. So the Judgment card is basically all about resurrection, okay? It's about things being born again. It's about things being given a second chance. So often when this card comes up, if it's like in a relationship reading, then we can be rest assured that the relationship is going to be given another chance, or we are going to be given another chance at life, another shot at life. I said life when I meant to say love there, which is interesting because, yeah, at its truest meaning, this resurrection is another shot at life. So this kind of energy can come about when you feel as though you have died, where something in your life has ended and you get another shot. It could also be after illness. It could also literally be as literal as, you know, you went through something really quite alarming and perhaps you did die for a while and you're being reborn, okay? So the Judgment card has all of those heavy meanings, but it also can literally mean kind of having a final judgment call on something, right? So if there's a big decision weighing on you and the Judgment card comes out, it's about making a final judgment, making a final decision, okay? So the Judgment card is about resurrection in all ways. Resurrection of life, resurrection of love, resurrection of opportunities, right? So as I mentioned before, I would say in terms of keywords, second chances, resurrection. Okay, so there's something also really interesting about the fact that these people are naked, okay? So as I mentioned about the Star card, where the lady is naked in that, this is a symbol of vulnerability. It's a symbol of being stripped bare. It's a symbol of showing up exactly as you are in your most authentic self. And if we think of Judgment Day in terms of religion and being the time in which you're having to kind of discuss your sins or speak up for your sins or say the things that have happened to you in life, right? And why you've made the decisions you've made, okay? Without getting too deeply into the idea of a Judgment Day, that is basically what it is, a day in which you are held accountable for what you did in your life. Okay, so this nakedness is about being stripped bare, about showing up as the person you are, about really being held accountable for what you're going through in life. And it's interesting because I was talking about this with my friend today. Accountability, that word kept coming up. And the Judgment card is about accountability, right? The Judgment card is about standing firm and justifying why you've done what you've done, even if it's not the best things, taking responsibility for those things, okay? So the final judgment asks that of ourselves, asks us to be truthful about what we've done and to account for what we've done. There's a real weighing up energy here, right? A real balancing energy here. And that is the energy in which we think of a final judgment in terms of religion, right? The day when you're going to be held accountable for your sins. Right, so it's a very heavy energy. It's a major arcana, which means it's a very big energy. And like I said, it's not necessarily as big as life and death and resurrection, though it can be in the sense of a big life-changing accident and then you kind of coming back from the dead in terms of either literally having a near-death experience or in terms of being reborn again, right? Having a second chance at life after an illness. can be applied to love, second chance at love after lots of failed opportunities with other people or with one person in particular. It's a very important card, a very impactful card. And when this card comes up, it heralds like a big kind of change, a big movement into another phase of life, which holds that second chance energy. Wow, this is one of those cards I feel like I could speak at great length about because there are so many layers to it and because it is so important, right? It's the double 10 as well here that we see numerologically. So this is talking about cycles ending twice over, right? This card is all about things that have ended beginning again, okay? So it's like the death card twofold. It's like all of the tens in tarot, the tens of cups, the tens of pentacles, the 10 of swords. It's all of those tens on steroids, so to speak, right? So I feel like I properly waffled on about that because it's such big energy that it's almost hard to talk about. It's almost hard to contain in a little short video. But I really hope that's helped you out there if you've ever wondered what the Judgment card is really about, or if you're dealing with this kind of energy in your life right now, right? Reborn, twice born, second chances. That's what this is about. Right, so next week we are going to be looking at the World card, which is another gigantic ending, close of a cycle, as we close out our little series on the major arcana, and we will then be going through the minor arcana card by card. So look out for the video next week. All right, take care.